Weren't clinical enough in front of goal, really. I mean, that chance which Ida was through on goal, he shouldn't really be very.
Well, they didn't have that many shots. In the first half, they had more shots than them. They were just more clinical, and just not to name like any particular names. We were so slow, like going to second balls.
The only player we thought put a shift in was Kenny McLean.
McLean was really good.
He was actually
man of the match.
Were there any players that sort of disappointed you as well?
Jack Stacey.
Yeah, Stacey today was quite poor. Normally when I've watched him, he's been good though. But
Sarah as well. And
Sarah, yeah. Compared
obviously,
to
Ida should be really converting them chances.
Yeah.
Obviously could be ahead of the likes of Josh Sargent in the team. So.
Yeah. Obviously, Norwich came into it as quite significant underdogs. Are there any sort of pleasing elements about how close they ran Leeds, or do you think at this level Norwich should always expect to get
half time?
We did say
1-0 it's not the end of the world. We've not been plastered, and we weren't outplayed massively either, which is promising. But I still feel we're on in a positive direction. So
Did you have the belief that Norwich were going to come into it at any point, or did it feel unlikely?
A 15-minute spell at the start of the second half.
Yeah.
I think we were definitely on top, but we weren't really creating much. Like in that 15-minute spell, we were on top. We probably had 2 shots. And they weren't like great chances, but
was it good at all to see them sort of boss possession for a little bit? Obviously, you said there wasn't much at the end of it, but it's been a while, hasn't it? Really.
It was nice. It was nice change from the boring pass it back to Gunn every other pass. So that was nice.
Where do you stand generally? Do you think Norwich can get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think we could just about scrape it.
If we can play like we did against West Brom, although we didn't have as much possession, we just looked dominant. Even with about 40% possession, we just looked dominant and controlled the game. If we can control games more, I feel we have a chance. But if we play like that, then no chance.
And where do you stand on David Wagner? Do you think he's the man to take the club forward?
I think we've got the players to do it, and I think if you asked me a month ago, I'd have said absolutely not. But now I think I've got a little more belief in him.
My opinion changes with Wagner. I mean, at the end of the 3-1 defeat against Blackburn, I was like him out. But then that little spell way to win against Hull, and then the win against West Brom, I was sort of like maybe I can believe in a bit more. But then again, it might if we have to continue with a few more performances like that, I feel like it might start into David Wagner out.
So I think it was a good performance, to be fair. Like, we're happy. Obviously not happy to lose, but against Leeds at home, they haven't lost many games. We think I think we're still looking all right for potential playoffs.
Yeah, do you think there's plenty of positives to take? Obviously, Norwich came in as quite significant underdogs, and Leeds are going really well. Do you think it bodes quite well that they were able to take them to the very end?
I think so. Like, the Leeds fans were delighted to win that game 1-0, so you've got to take a lot from that. If we could just be a little bit more clinical, Sarah maybe nicks that one before half time, it's possibly a different game. So I think we should be positive off the back of that. It's a loss, but it's not a bad result, I don't think.
Do you think a lot of it was just sort of taking their chances when they presented themselves? You're not going to get a lot here, are you?
No, I think, if Sarah puts that one in before half time, and that is a golden opportunity, if he puts that one in, it's a different game second half. And we came out, I didn't expect us to have a lot of the ball second half, and we dominated it for 20-30 minutes. So I think honestly, come up against some teams that aren't quite as strong as Leeds, and we've got a really good opportunity second half of this season to push for the playoffs.
Were there any individual performances that especially pleased you or disappointed you today?
Personally, I think I like to see Sarah further up the pitch. I thought that worked really well. I thought Nunes had a decent game in the middle there. Obviously, Gunn was strong there with a couple of saves towards the end. So I think, through that spine of the team, we were looking much stronger than we have done for a long time.
Yeah. And you said you think there's a chance of playoffs. Do you think that's a big chance or not really?
I'm still not massively confident, but we're in the mix. If you think about the games we've got results in the last few weeks, we've been much better against teams that are around us. Leeds are a much better side when you look at it on paper. They've got a guy there who's 30 million quid, and we've come within a whisker of a 1-1 draw, and there's little chances either way that you could nick it. So I think there's still an outside chance. The jury's still out on whether we can do it long term, but I think we've definitely got a chance.
Where do you stand on David Wagner? I've spoken to a couple of people that are saying he's winning them over, but maybe not 100% yet.
I think he's had a tough run with players. If you think about the results have got better as the players have come back from injury. So I think give him a chance. Let's back him. Let's all get behind the manager and the team, and let's see what happens second half of the season.
Disappointing game. Like, I don't think we offered enough in that. We had a spell second half with the ball, but no penetration. and he either had a chance but just couldn't take it. So Leeds were a better team, deserved to win. Disappointing.
Is it encouraging at all that Norwich had so much of it and sort of were close, or do you think at this level Norwich should be expecting to get at least a result from most games?
Yeah, I just think it's hard for Norwich fans at the minute to see what the game plan is. And I think like we have got players of individual quality, but just didn't offer enough penetration. I thought, to be fair, Leeds were really solid, and like when Farker was at Norwich, we were guilty of being slack at the back, but attacking really well, and he's obviously got Leeds really solid.
Were there any performances that especially pleased or disappointed you today?
So a lot. I mean, I thought we was all right. We were pretty resolute at the back. Didn't give loads away. We just didn't have enough going forward. Ultimately, I think Leeds, they could have nicked another one, and then it would have felt a bit more punishing than they did.
And obviously Norwich have had some good results against some decent teams recently, but obviously lost today. Do you think they are in the playoff race, or? No?
Yeah, definitely. There's clearly like a top 4 in this league. And so there's 2 spots up for grabs, and it looks like it's anyone's game to snap them up. And if we can get in the playoffs, then like you never know, do you? Like, we'll have a go at that.
Where do you stand on David Wagner? He seems to be gaining a bit of popularity now, although maybe still some doubts.
Personally, I'm not sold. Like in the wins, I just think we've got individual quality, and that's sometimes enough to get us results. But I feel like with the players we've got, we probably should be doing better than we have, and that's on him, and that's on the players as well.